I can't smoke. Since this is YouTube, I cannot smoke now.
I don't know.
Hello, welcome to Crypto Insights, where we teach you about crypto. My name is Thomas and I'm the host of this channel. In this video, I will interview Bonnie, who is a gamer and a game developer. We will discuss how traditional and new companies will rise and adopt blockchain. I have a few questions about NFTs and how you can use the same NFTs on different games. Also, I have a question on how traditional games will develop blockchain technology. So with all of that said, let's jump into this week's video. Hi Bonnie, thank you for joining us at Crypto Insights today. So we will be talking about gaming and NFT gaming. Before we start with the questions, could you tell us a little bit more about you, especially about what you play, what you develop?
Yeah, sure. Well, my name is João Antunes, most lonely as Bonnie. I'm an editor and host at RTP Arena, the national television of Portugal, on a special block that RTP has that specializes on video games technology and esports. I also work for Stash Labs, the first secret network market for NFTs. And I'm currently developing a video game for them as a game director or product manager, as you want to call it. I've played basically everything that is to play, because I play since my 6 years, 5 years, 4 years, I don't know, because my father was a gamer. I've started playing really early in Windows 93 or Windows 94, in Windows NT, most likely. Well, here I am, 30 years old, still a gamer, still a collector, and working in the video game industry, and now in the blockchain industry as well.
So especially from the gamer point of view, how do you see added value of NFTs? So not from the developer kind of view, that's something we will discuss later, but from a gamer. Why as a gamer would you like to have NFTs?
Well, the ability to own a single piece of cosmetic, for example, or a character is something that is very special. Because as you can imagine, and as we saw through the evolution of the gaming industry, for example, RPGs became a real big player in the gaming industry. Why? Well, the answer is simple, because people want to feel like they own something, like they are someone. In an RPG, you create your own character. You are your own character. You can develop it. You can develop it in your own way and create your own story, your backstory. With an NFT, we can take this even farther. We can have a character that is not only created by ourselves, or not only suited to our story, to our backstory, to whatever we want to do with it, but it's also actually ours. So it's not in an RPG, for example, I can name Skyrim. You create your character, but well, you can't take your character out of the game. That character belongs to Bethesda, not to you. With NFTs, we can make something different. We can make characters that actually belong to someone. Even if the game closes, that character is yours. That item is yours. That sword that you love so much is yours, and you can even profit from it.
Yeah, so actually you summarize uniqueness. So it's more unique than the current games. The ownership creates emotional added value. And
Correct.
something that I haven't heard you talking about is like the commercial value. So the whole way that you can actually become play to earn.
Well, imagine we have a typical play to earn system right now in NFT games, which is well, you own some exclusive pieces that are limited in ownership, and you can resell them. You can sell them to other people. You can rent them in most of the games, or you can just keep them to yourself. But something that people haven't really talked about, and I would like to explore it. I don't know how, but I would like to explore it, is the possibility of creators, actually art creators, content creators, to create their own pieces and resell them like they do with merchandise stores or something. Imagine a PewDiePie creating a character for a game and selling like 500 units of that character, he can keep his own, right? But the 500 people that buy that item or that character are owning something unique that a creator made for the game, that is special. It is special in its own way. It has added value because it's a content creator that everyone loves, and it has monetary value because, well, if it is limited to a certain piece, it becomes a collector item, and I think collector items are a way to go with NFTs.
Yes, this already actually exists in the metaverse. So in Decentraland and in the sandbox, you can already create your own structures, but you can also already create your own clothing with their internal software and sell it to other players. I don't know if we can really call it players in the metaverse, as it's the metaverse and it's not a game. But
yeah, exactly.
Something like
that's why I didn't bring up. That's why I didn't bring up those examples, because we haven't seen it applied to an actual video game.
Yes.
And I don't know really how you can apply it. It's something that a lot of people are probably working on it or probably thinking about it as we speak. But imagine a special Call of Duty where everyone can create their guns and choose the way they shoot, choose the way they look. Not just with the typical cosmetic options that you have in game, but with they give you a special item creator, and you can create something unique with your own name on it, with your own signature on it, and sell it. I can imagine creators creating some added value weapons, like, I don't know, art in the form of video game items that would have value that is untaggable. Basically.
Yes. So just to continue on NFTs, something that is mostly in my mind is like, are you able to create an NFT and use that same NFT on multiple platforms? Can you design a weapon that you can create that you can use in multiple games? Like, as a developer, is that possible, or is that very hard to connect?
It is possible. If the video game is created in the same engine, it is totally possible, because the integration with the blockchain varies from engine to engine. It is a special integration. Most engines do not support it right now, but some do. And if you can create broader video games, like a company creates 2, 3, 4 platforms as video games, where they can work on the same engine, you can create items that can be used on multiple locations, multiple video games. There comes another problem, which is, well, if one of the games is an FPS, you're probably designing a pistol or something. And if another game is a real-time strategy, well, the characters won't use a pistol. They'll probably use swords or shields. There are some barriers, but if a company can overcome those barriers, if a company can create, for example, let's imagine a hero shooter, competitive FPS like CS:GO, for example, and Battle Royale, for example, 3 brother games, you can create a machine gun for one game and use it across all 3 games, and it's yours. And it doesn't go out of type. It doesn't go out of the game. Doesn't go out of the aesthetic, and it works. So it's perfectly possible. On the technological endpoint, it's perfectly possible. There's nothing to stop it. If the games use the same engine, use the same art style, there's no problem in using it across the different platforms. So I don't see any problem with that.
So for me, the whole engine, I've heard about Unreal Engine, but like, how many engines are there? Is there really a lot of engines around, or like, could you give a little bit more information? It's completely new to me.
Yeah, there are a lot of engines around. For example, the most used engines are Unity and Unreal Engine. Those are the bases. But for example, EA uses and abuses the Cry engine, which is a special engine that they have that they use for Need for Speed. For FIFA, no, for FIFA they use Frost engine, Frostbite right now. Right now they use Frostbite, but it's those engines. Those are all engines, different engines with different types of programming behind it, and there are a multitude of engines. But mostly, the most used are Unreal Engine and Unity, and those work perfectly fine with blockchain integrations. There's no problem in doing anything with it.
So it means that it is possible. That's quite
it is
cool
completely
to know,
possible. Yes,
to have multifunctional NFTs.
Yeah.
So we're currently mostly talking about like these new companies that step up and generate and create their own games. Do you think the old ones like Activision and Blizzard will they move into blockchain, and how will they profit from the model of moving to blockchain?
I think it's a natural stepping stone for old video game companies, because right now we're reaching a place in time where the video game industry has kind of staled. The evolution is not very palpable. We don't see many more things being created. It's just reimagining old stuff with some newer add-ons, with some newer graphics, and there's really nothing new being added to the video game industry. Some companies have already been working on integrating NFT systems. Before this interview with you, I showed you some articles that I wrote for RTP Arena, where I talked about an interview that EA CEO Andrew, let me just check it, Andrew Wilson revealed on an investors meeting. He revealed that NFTs are and will be a future for EA. They will be the future of video game industries. And also, I also showed you the Ubisoft Quartz, which is a beta version of kind of a blockchain that Ubisoft wants to integrate in some of their games, which is based in the Tezos network. They will be calling the NFTs digits, because they want to divert a bit from the word NFT, because it's kind of burned in the video game industry, especially in the indie industry, because there is some resistance from the smaller creators. But yeah, they are already making that step. We haven't heard much from Activision and Blizzard about this, but I think they will follow the same steps as EA and Ubisoft, because they cannot fall behind. And if this works for Ubisoft, they are already in a beta phase. EA said that they want to introduce it up until the end of the world, until the end of the year, I mean. So yeah, the others will just follow through and will eventually.
What will be their profit model? Because obviously, if you are selling skins, you prefer to sell one-on-one to customers. Like, you prefer customers to have all buying skins from you. You don't want customers to trade with each other. So how does a company like Blizzard really makes profit out of NFTs?
Well, it's basically the same thing if we think about it. Well, if they create the NFTs, let's forget the part that we talked earlier about the owners or the players creating their own NFTs. Yes. Let's imagine the developer creates NFTs for the players, which is something that happens in most NFT games right now. Let's imagine Ubisoft, the model that they're creating. They created limited edition NFTs, which are right now they created a rifle, they've created a helmet, some body armor, some stuff like that in limited numbers. And they are selling it for 100% margin anyway. So they are getting that 100% margin. And then the players will set their prices to sell to other players. Because imagine you sell that gun to a pro player in this case, Ubisoft in Rainbow Six, I think. Let me just get a little check. What game are they introducing it? Yeah, they're introducing it in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. That's the first game where they are testing the NFT model. So in Ghost Recon, you have a pro player that bought one of those rifles. So everyone's going to want that rifle. So the prices of that rifle are going to increase, and people are going to try to get that rifle. Since you created, or since the developer created this rifle, the developer still has royalties over the rifle. So every transaction that happens, and depending on the price, gives some added value back to the company, gives some profit back to the company. So the weapons can be sold and sold and sold indefinitely until and they will always make some kind of profit. Now, obviously, there's some speculation here, because the weapons can go down in price, they can go up. So you never know, but still, with limited edition numbers, they most likely will increase in price, at least for the first couple of months.
So it will really like follow like the fashion industry. Let's say like Ariana Grande or like other superstars. Like, you want to dress them up because their fans want to have their goods as well. And as long as you create unique pieces, they become more and more expensive. Okay, so that makes
that's the perfect example. Well, Prada or Gucci or Louis Vuitton, well, they want to dress the big superstars because they know that their prices will go up if they dress those superstars. Some piece that, for example, Ariana Grande wears to the VMAs is gonna be the most sold piece in Gucci, for example, for the next couple of months or years. And, it's gonna become a limited edition piece. Well, expensive brands usually don't create much pieces of the same item, and people will then sell it to other people for an added value, for increased price. In that case, in the fashion industry, people do not, the company does not get the profit from the royalties, because, well, after they sell the item belongs to anybody else, and there's no market. It works on a rudimentary way. But in this case, in a digital item, people reselling it will turn profit right back to the developer. So it's a win-win situation for everyone.
So what is actually happening is that probably new brands will step up that become like the Gucci, the Nike, and the Adidas of NFTs, of in-game items. So that's a whole new industry that is just on the start.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure of it, because look at what happened with basically all NFTs. Or some collections rose up from the stars. For example, the Bored Apes collection. Stars started using the Bored Apes collection. Everyone wanted Bored Apes because, well, they saw Eminem had one, Snoop Dogg had one, so everyone wanted to get into that fashion system. Like, well, I own something that also Eminem owns, and not everyone can own because they're limited. And the prices on the Bored Apes collection just started rising, skyrocketing, and people profited a lot from the Bored Apes collection. So it's basically the same thing, but with weapons. Imagine the example that I gave you before. A pro player starts using some kind of rifle, wins the world championship for a game. Well, every other player will want to use it, and even if it's not a pro player, a streamer uses this rifle or uses that rifle. Well, that's a collector's item right there.
Maybe with Bored Ape, we already mentioned the first digital brand. Let's say maybe you'll have Bored Ape guns.
Without a doubt. Bored Ape is a digital brand. It's an NFT digital brand, and it works just like that. The marketing for Bored Apes is basically made mouth to mouth already, because in such a short time span, they managed to make such a huge brand for themselves by being used by some of the top guns in the music industry, in the fashion industry, that everyone wants them. So yeah, they become a luxury brand, if we can call it like that.
So then to finish this video, is there any project that you're really looking out to? Like currently Illuvium is, in my perspective, the graphical best game. Is there any games? I mean, you're already mentioning that you're really looking into the traditional companies. Is there some new games that you're really looking into at this point?
Well, Illuvium, I got really interested when you showed it to me. I haven't heard about it before, but I got really interested in it because the graphics look really cool. That Pokemon-ish system looks really interesting, and I'm looking forward to it because I want to have my own beast. That's something that I always wanted in Pokemon. Like, everyone has their own teams and everyone can have any Pokemon they want, and I always looked for the most iconic teams. Like, no one uses these Pokemon, so these are the Pokemons that I want to use. So if I can have a game where the monsters are actually mine and no one else has those monsters, well, that's a game that I'll be certainly playing. Other than that, well, I'm looking forward for our game at Stash. That I can't give you any more information at the moment because we're still in a special stage of production. But soon, we're gonna have some things to talk, and it's gonna be also an amazing game with some incredible NFTs coming. And yeah.
So then we will see you back when that.
We'll talk again soon about it when I'll have something to show, something incredible to show.
So then I want to finish this video by saying thank you very much for this chat. I learned a lot of new stuff, and I hope my viewers did as well. For the viewers, if you're watching this and you really like it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And my next video will be out next week. And I hope to see you then. So Bonnie, thanks again, and I hope to see you soon.
See ya.